Greetings and welcome to another episode of Bermuda's Feel Good Early Morning Show. Good Day Bermuda, supported by Pizza's and Aliana's Restaurant. I'm Terri Tuku alongside Jackie Lambert. And we want to thank you for getting up bright and early with us on this Wednesday morning. Jack, it's hump day. How are you feeling?
A little sore from my match last night, but I feel great at the same
Ooh.
time.
Tell us about the match. Is this the MTM tournament?
Yes.
Cool.
Amstel Ultra Bermuda.
Mm-hmm.
Played as an invitation. I played it last night, and somehow I pulled out a win.
What do you mean somehow you pulled out a win?
Well, I haven't been training, and I don't train as often, like at all.
Mm-hmm.
And the individual I played is a tough opponent that trains a lot, and she was playing brilliant tennis. I just somehow
Managed to pull the W.
yeah, I honestly am so shocked and have no words. Like, the match was over and I just was like, I won.
I think it's so funny that as you, a long-time tennis player, but you did mention previously that you're getting back into the game. So it's funny that you're saying that because I know a lot of us that are just starting out have those feelings like, oh my God, I won. Like, oh my gosh, how say?
Like, I was walking down and I was having a blast. I always have a blast with tennis, and I know it like sometimes bothers people because I laugh on the court, but laughing is my way of coping, because as a tennis player, you get frustrated and it's illegal for you to curse. It's illegal for you to hit your racket. There's so many rules of how to carry yourself. Like, tennis etiquette is a huge thing. And so I'm not allowed to curse. I'm not allowed to throw my racket, but you're frustrated. You want to do something. So my way of releasing is giggling. And so I'm running up and down the court. I'm getting to balls and I'm like, exhausted after the point. I'm like, wow, you are unfit. How are you doing carnival? Because like, you are absolutely pulling a credit or carnival. Chip.
Well, you got time. You got time to prepare yourself. Yeah. And speaking of your W, Rosalind Famous says congrats. I concur with that. Congratulations. If you're just joining us, please take a minute to share this episode wherever you're watching, because Jack and I are about to switch and start talking about our trend report. So what is this now? 2 weeks ago, it has to be a now.
Yes.
International Women's Day, we had the chair of the Bermuda Football Association's Women's Committee on, and we were talking about women's football kind of making a comeback and some things that we can look forward to. And there was a caveat around this upcoming trend report story, but we're happy to announce it is confirmed. So our women's national team will be playing at the National Sports Center. So we want to know, actually didn't even copy the question over here, but I want to know, I'm going to copy it now while Jackie answers it. What are your thoughts on our women's national squad being able to play at the National Sports Center, which was recently renamed to the Dame Flora Duffy National Sports Center? They're playing on April 12th. What are your thoughts on that, Jack?
It's coming fast. I'm so excited. No, seriously, I am so excited. Can't remember the last time I've watched an international competition in Bermuda, and there's a lot that's coming down the pipeline, so I am stoked. I haven't seen anything about tickets, so I hope I didn't miss out, because those things come fast, and next thing you know, they're sold out. Like, you look at these tickets for other events or even the stocks for Isan. It's just like, you have 30 minutes to sort your life out, and I hope you know about it. So I hope that they make a huge announcement so that I can get in, because I'm not sure I know that on April 1st, everything's supposed to change again with the rules.
Well, see, you know about that, right? Because I saw someone tweet about the emergency orders being extended. So little old me went to confirm, because I haven't really been paying attention. The news reports are basically the same. They just changed the numbers. So it's kind of like you're not giving me anything new. So I kind of tuned out. And I want to say last week in one of the pressers or release statements, it says that the order was extended to the end of April or the end of May. So with that being said, I have to go back to see where we are currently, because, you know, the only thing that they really give us new is what has changed, not what's staying. So it is extended, it looks like, until May. So to your point, like I think I would assume, this is obviously Jacky and I just speaking from our own thoughts. I would think that they would get a large group exemption because of
It's
this
outside.
location. Not only because it's outside, because of the location, it can hold so many people.
Yeah.
200 people is more than 200 people is going to be at the National Sports Center. So I would think that they would be applying for an exemption if they don't already have one. Like if this doesn't fall under the BFA's current exemption, I would think that they would be getting an exemption. But I am excited. I've never actually seen women's football, like national women's football in Bermuda.
Me either. I've never been to get to a match. I've always talked about maybe one day I will fly out there and support, but it's been a clash. So I'm hoping that I am lucky enough to round up some tickets and take a squad. And it'd be nice if off level fan zone has something.
Yeah, they did a thing again.
I am going to harass them and see if they can pull something out.
Hopefully one of them are watching the episode this morning, get themselves ready for work, and they're like, you know what? We already have something coming.
It would be nice. I'm going to make sure that they know that that's what we talked about. I know a few of them were at the matches last night playing in the tournament as well. They're probably still catching themselves. It was some battles last night. Honestly, there were some battles last night. There is tennis today. I know Don South Peak started at like 4:45 to about 8:30. So if anybody wants to watch some tennis, I'm not playing tonight, but there are like Gavin Manders, Mackay Ritter, a few of Bermuda's top national players are, competing today.
The elite circuits tonight. Okay.
I'm an elite too. I'm just
And at least you didn't think she would win. I was very surprised that she won.
I definitely said, okay, this should be a quick match because I haven't been playing. And I didn't realize it was going to go in my favor. I just battled for every single point. I don't go away.
That's definitely going to be a future topic. Sticking to the wicket in all sports, right? I know we say it all the time. It's a cricket term if you didn't know. But I feel like it just applies to every single sport. And we should definitely talk about, those moments when you have to, I don't want to say fake it till you make it, but just keep yourself going. Because I feel like even with football, right? So we're talking about our national women's team. They're playing at the National Sports Center next month, April 12th. I don't know what day of the week that is right now, but it's a weekday. We're going to assume it's a weekday until we double check the calendar. Unless if you're looking at your calendar right now, let us know. Because Jacky and I we can't use our phones, we're online. We can't do those things. But I'm really interested in seeing how this campaign up until the game goes, like the marketing strategy, because we've talked about it not only with the president of the Football Association, but with Sharice, the chair of the women's committee. And a lot of people's watching what's the differences between the women's football promotions and the men's football promotions. I'm interested to see that personally and specifically.
Yeah, well, no, like you said, there's women at the top that are going to push, that have been through the cycle of being forgotten, or pushed to the side or deemed less important, whatever the case may be. From experience, that's how it feels. I'm not sure how they feel about it, but I know a few women agree with me, and I just hope that, like you said, they listen, they make the changes instead of listening and saying, that's how you feel, that's unfortunate, and saying, you should do it yourself. No, same effort.
I'm really excited. I can say, despite what people may think about how things are done, whether they should be done differently, I'm just excited for us to be able to have such a big game.
It's gonna be my pom-poms. Let's go Bermuda! See if I can carry my pot and pan. That's what I used to do. We used to do that when we used to travel for Bermuda. And it used to be big competitions, island games, games, Commonwealth games. We were loud. We'd find something metal to hit on to echo through that stadium because it's little old Bermuda and they usually carry a squad. So I know that they've experienced in other countries them being kind of like the underdog when it comes to a cheering squad. You're playing not just against the other team, but the the spectators as well, and the words that come out not always positive. So I will be there to make sure that they feel the support from Bermuda that they might have never received.
Love to hear. If you're just joining us, go ahead and let us know your thoughts on the fact that our women's national team will be playing at the National Sports Center next month on April the 12th. It was announced yesterday on the BFA social media channels as well as their website. Make sure you save that date if you haven't already. Looking at the time, Jack and I are going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back with our feel good topic of the day. It's a good one. It's on a topic that you should know. Jackie and I are the most obsessed with. So if you have an idea, if you think you know what it is, let us know in the comments, and Jackie and I will be right back.
Same smooth sounds, different name. BCG Radio, home of Bermuda's most engaging morning talk shows, The Daily Hour and Good Day Bermuda. Download the app, available for Android and Apple devices. BCG Radio, your station for conversations and entertainment.
Welcome back to Good Day Bermuda, supported by Pizza House and Aliana's Restaurant. I'm Terri Tuku alongside Jackie Lambanoff. If you're just joining us and you haven't already, please take a minute to share this episode wherever you're watching. Those of you on Facebook. Those of you on Facebook, make sure you give us a reaction. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button and make sure you subscribe. And all of our peeps over there on Twitter, make sure you run up those hearts. Today's feel good topic, we're talking about going ghost on purpose. Now, Jackie and I had a little conversation yesterday, and we had realized that neither of us were on social media like that this weekend. So we decided to talk about going ghost, detoxing, disconnecting from the world in general. So, Jackie, just give the audience a little bit of background on why you disconnected this weekend.
I know I've said it before, but I have this habit of trying to live in the moment. So please don't ask me for pictures when I go out. It's not happening unless somebody else is taking candid shots and I don't even know about it, or they're forcing me to take a picture. I have 0 pictures. I have no footage. I don't know where my phone is. As soon as I get to an event, because all day I'm on my phone catching up with clients. Clients are changing. Relatives or friends are trying to touch base, ask whatever the situation may be. So I'm spending more of my time fulfilling other people's needs and getting myself, I guess you can say. So this weekend, I decided I am going to be very much in the moment. If you want me or want to talk to me, anything like that, you have to come to where I am and hope for the best. So I decided to, I was out at the parties, or where was I on Friday? Wherever I was. No, I didn't go to Taste. Yes, I did go to Taste on Friday.
That's a shocker. That's like your Fridays.
No, I went to, and that's the thing, right? I couldn't remember where I was because I have no record of it because I didn't carry my phone. My phone, these past few weeks, since we don't need safe key, has been going to 1% because I don't have to actually show my my safe key anymore. So my phone is back to being on whatever percent it is, and you have me while you do, and then you don't. And that's fine because it allows me to be in the moment, recharge, and then come back to you later. So shoot those, like even yesterday, I was playing my match, I was working, I didn't really check my phone for any outside messages except for like 2 people. One was my ride and one was a friend that needed me. And then I was just like, I'm on 1%. If it dies, it dies. I sent a message and went about my day and was enjoying it. Didn't know where my phone was until it was time for me to leave. And honestly, it's the best feeling not having to worry about having intimate conversations, I guess you could say.
Not unintimate. So speaking of that, I want to get the audience involved, and I want to chime in a bit as well. So we want to know, when was the last time you disconnected from technology and the outside world? It looks like Jackie did some of that this weekend. She didn't completely disconnect from the outside world. But let us know in the comments, when's the last time you disconnected? When's the last time you had a moment where you said, I need to just be more present than actually being in my phone? I know I wasn't as disconnected from technology this weekend. I wasn't on social media as much. And I think that's primarily because I was busy. Like, and I was busy in an odd way because I made the decision to go watch my youth team play. And child had all the dates, so I had everything wrong. Um, and so I was in town. The game was in St. George's. I got there. How? Because it's a bus ride. It's not like I'm driving where I'm controlling the speed and how fast I'm going. I made it there and got to watch at least 3 quarters of their game. They did well. They won. And I was only checking my phone to talk to my treasurer to like coordinate. Are we doing food after the game? What are we doing at the club? All that type of stuff. And then after that, and to text my partner about not making tennis. I had all intention to make tennis. And then I don't know, it's something when you see the children like playing and enjoying themselves, you just want to be a part of that. I'm like, I don't really want to leave yet. And if I do start leaving, I gotta make sure that whoever is still here knows, what to do, make sure they clean up and close up. And I was like, it got to be like 12 o'clock. I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna make it. Because even by the time I shut down, the bus is maybe gonna come at 12:30. So by the time I get there, it's gonna be 1:45. Half the session's over. So I was like,
we started early, so all the session would have been over.
So all the session would have been over. But that kind of experience reminded me that it's okay. Like, the only reason I remembered to hit up my partner was because I had someone else that was going to be doing an activity with me and they were relying on me. I didn't text my coach, yo, don't tell her. But like, other than that, like if I didn't have anything planned, I probably would have been completely disconnected from technology over the weekend. And it felt good.
Right? It's such a good feeling. Like, like people know that I'm gonna go somewhere and put my stuff down and that's a wrap. They're like, oh, when you get here, you can put your phone and your wallet right here. And I'm like, wicked, and I put it down and I go and have my fun with my friends.
I know I can say in my 20s, it was definitely more difficult to disconnect. Early 20s, later 20s is a little bit better. But I would always feel like I have to know what's going on social media. I have to be part of the conversation. Or at least I need to know what the conversation is. Now it's like, so what happened over the weekend? What are we talking about?
I never really, like, I was always in the know, but I was never really deeply invested in it. Like, I didn't wake up Monday and was just like, oh no, I have no clue what happened on social media. I was just like continuing on my day, I felt like putting something on Twitter. So I sat down and I tweeted something and then I started to scroll and I was just like, wait, what happened? That's when I was just like, whoa, what's happening? What happened this weekend? Like, everything's all over the place. Some person's mad, some person's happy. You see subtweets and you're just like, oh, that's crazy. And when COVID was happening, and we were stuck inside and there was no excitement because there was no outside world really popping. You couldn't really go and actually be face to face with people. Social media was our entertainment. It was our outside. So I get it. But at what point do we cleanse? Because outside is opening up. You can go for dinners. You can go for lunches. You can go for a little happy hour here and there. So I think it's wise that we get back into that other routine. I know we're trying to have a new normal, but we've talked about it, like our community in Bermuda has been so disconnected because they're so connected online, which doesn't, you can have real friendships online, but in a small community like Bermuda, you should be able to have both with one person or people.
Yeah, there's definitely an argument for balance, right? Because there are some people that thrive through those digital relationships because of things like technology, because you can do video, you can actually see the person, whereas before you would have to call back in the day, long distance, got to get through if the Wi-Fi was on, if it wasn't on, like all of that type of stuff. So you only had voice. So we've evolved from a technological perspective to whereas you can actually still somewhat have a face-to-face, in-person interaction, albeit, digital. I think one of the challenges is the person knowing what's too much versus what's not enough of online interaction or in-person interaction, because some people genuinely don't do well in-person situations, like in-person social situations. Some people get major anxiety. Some people don't know how to have those interactions because of their personality, not because they don't want to. And they might have a challenge that we don't know about, an invisible disability that we don't know about. And that could be causing their social interactions to be a little bit different. So I think it definitely, there's like this idea of just making sure there's balance, but acknowledging every person's differences. Some people just might enjoy the technology socialization versus the in-person socialization.
Yeah, I struggle with the whole, this probably sounds, I don't know, the balance of like, okay, so the outside world, I need time to decompress from the outside world. I've been outside too much, which is me right now. My best friend has gone back to New York. So I was just like, yes, I get to dip out and you won't see me till what? No, I said carnival, but then
May 24th?
no,
Good Friday.
Friday. People are having some events. Obviously, it'll be like small, intimate events, but that's like still kind of outside. But I was just like, well, I'll still keep up to date with people on technology. But even now, I get home and I'm just like, if you aren't in my top 5, I'm probably not going to reply to you for the next few days. My do not disturb is going to be on unless it's absolutely dire. I will be archiving.
Like, it's funny because my do not disturb is set for every day.
Mm-hmm.
And it went off one day when I was going out. I was like, it's funny, my phone's in sleep, do not disturb, and I'm about to be outside for a couple of hours. This is hilarious. But I knew that you can customize it, but for whatever reason, I don't feel like customizing it. So I just have it on. It doesn't matter. Like, even on the weekends, it'll do like my work focus time. Like, this is funny, but I like it because it keeps my notifications silent until I'm ready.
My do not disturb comes on at 9 p.m. and goes off at 8:30 a.m. And sometimes
might as well just set it for 9, sis.
I know. Sometimes I extend it. Sometimes I'll be like, all right, I need do not disturb until like 1. And people be like, my mom will message me, like, can you please turn off your do not disturb? I can, like, or my friends be like, is your do not disturb on? Because my phone calls are not getting through to you. And I'm like, if you're in my emergency, like my favorites, call 3 times and it will disconnect for you.
Those are the parameters. Make sure you know of them. I wanted to come back to when you mentioned your best friend just went back home or just at the island, and those situations, like what are some situations that make us emotionally shut down? So if you're watching and you have some time to respond, go ahead and drop it in the comments, whether you want to say good morning or you want to ask the question with us. I feel like we don't honor often what situations actually make us shut down, and we kind of just like bypass them, like don't really often reflect. So speaking of your people-y moment with it being too many people outside, what are some other situations that make you emotionally shut down?
I would say sometimes it'll be confrontation, to be honest, if we're gonna like be broad. I would say people will look at me and expect me to like confrontation. I try to walk away. It's if you keep pushing me that that like at first I'll shut down, like, all right, cool, and I'll walk away. And I think that's usually the best until later. But if you keep coming at me, it could be 2 things. I could just completely shut down and you can have your way. And just when I say have your way, like borderline, you go I've dealt with the whole verbal abuse and I just shut down and I don't know what you're saying because apparently I have to sit here and listen to it. And believe it or not, sometimes it's been teachers or I've had so many different coaches. So the coach is wrenching you and I have been like, cling. Turned off, you're talking to yourself, have fun. That is one emotional shutdown. But like you said, absorbing too much of everybody else's energy will absolutely have me shut down. It's just too many different vibrations. That will have me out for like a good 4 days.
My biggest one is overwork, like doing a lot or doing too much and like having too many tasks to do or wearing too many hats when you didn't plan to. What's that
looking at you because that's you like every other day.
Yeah, it is. So I emotionally shut down every other day. Just kidding. No, no. But I have so like even one situation that I didn't realize would make me emotionally shut down is a move. Like, and I guess it's just because no one apparently I don't I mean at first I didn't like moves. This most recent move, I shifted my mindset and just tried to like just be open about it, just honor the fact that it has to happen. It's a situation, let it be. After the fact, bro, I was tired. I'm still tired from it, but I've recovered. I'm a little bit more well rested than during the actual move. But I think like having to like shift your where you are, whether you're changing to a new home or a new location, this for me tend to shut me down because it's like, all right, I gotta like restart, I gotta like reset everything. And unknown situations, although I'm better with them now than I was in my early 20s, those can be some situations that make me or used to make me emotionally shut down because I think parts of me wants to know the end result's going to be. And because I don't know, I'm like, I'm just going to sit back and see how this goes.
Yeah.
And it sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't.
Your first example, like overwhelming yourself, is a huge one. I don't know anybody that doesn't have to like take a moment to catch themselves because they're just like, this is too much. I did it yesterday. Yesterday I woke up, Monday I woke up and I was just not moody, but like I said, it was just, I just did outside too much. I had to like recatch myself and I was just like, are you moody? I'm like, I'm not hungover. I'm not like physically exhausted in that sense. I just realized that I've been going, and been around too many different people and I haven't centered myself, I guess you could say. So I took Monday to catch myself. And then, but as I was looking around the house, I have so much to do. We all know that Star ate my couch. I had another room where I had, like my granny had given us a couch. So it was just sitting there. So I had to move everything around. So yesterday I got up early and I was just like, Monday night, I was like, you have so much to do tomorrow, like go sleep early. And I woke up yesterday and I did the show, and as soon as the show ended, I jumped right into it because I knew as soon as I walked through the other area, I was going to look at everything else that I needed to do. And my ADHD, yes, I actually have it, was going to spiral and I was going to completely turn off. So I focused, I moved the couches, and then I sat down and I was just like, okay. And I got up and I started to do everything else. I sorted out my dishes. I went and pulled my sheets off the bed and I washed those and I put those back on and I did my laundry and I filled it. I didn't really filled, but I like
you adult folded.
I was like, I'm only gonna use it again this week. Like it's all my weekly clothes. We're the same clothes every day, every week. And then I got ready for the day and I made my breakfast and I played with my pup and I went outside and did some yard work with my sister. And I realized that you can't be given the opportunity to shut down when you're overwhelmed when you make a plan. So I made a plan. It wasn't written down, but I made a plan and I stuck to it and I achieved all my tasks for yesterday. And I was just like, kudos to you, Jack, because it was like fight or flight yesterday with everything I had to do. And I decided to fight through and I succeeded because Monday I was just like, fly. I was like,
you were just flying away. I love it.
Walk away from everything. I'll live in a tent outside because inside is just too much.
Inside is too much going on, too much stuff. I just want to be outside in my tent, in my trees, and call it a day. I love it.
Yeah. I get overwhelmed and I'll be like, throw it all away. And then like 2 weeks later,
that's me. Yeah.
Crap, I needed that. I absolutely needed that.
It's actually. So I was just thinking back to when we had Sue on talking about minimalism and like being intentional with things that are in your space. I know on the move, like leaving the other spot, there were times where I'm like, I haven't used this in like over a year. It's time for this to go. Like cleaning sometimes can feel like overwhelming to me. So to your point, I'm like, if I don't make a plan or at least have one thing that I'm trying to accomplish at the end of this, I might never do it. Because something always needs to be clean, something or probably always out of place, or it could probably go somewhere else. Like this could go so many ways. So I usually have like one goal in mind. Maybe it's to reduce my closet from things that I don't necessarily need anymore.
Yeah.
And like, so with moving into the new spot, at first I had this idea of like, well, we'll just get rid of everything that we don't use or that I haven't used. Then I wait. Let me give myself some time because maybe I'm not using it right now because I don't have a place for it yet, or I haven't figured out where exactly I want it to be for it to actually make sense in the new spot. But I feel like planning sometimes for me can cause me to shut down because sometimes I overplan or I think of all the different scenarios and then I'm like, well, damn,
I think
which one am I going with today?
Yeah, I feel like the best thing to do is start with one thing on your task list. Because I feel like cleaning, like you said, is an everyday affair. It's something that you have to do every day. If you cook at home, you have to clean. If you get takeout, you still have to pack up that stuff and either pack it away, put it in the trash, or if you're one of those people that likes to keep the takeout containers, like the good ones, wash that, dry it, pack it away. Like, there's always going to be something you have to do. You got to shower, you have dirty clothes now, you got to make sure those get packed away. If you realize it's overflowing, you have to wash and fill. So I think that we need to just start off with one major task. Like, all right, so I have 3 dishes. Let me go wash those dishes, pack them away. And then I can stand there in my achievement and get that boost of energy from that achievement because it's like an adrenaline rush. Like, I did that. And then look around and say, all right, well, let me pack these jackets away because I have a jacket closet. Or my shoes need to be packed away. Let me pull out the boxes, pack those away, put them back, or however you organize your shoes. But start off with one task, and then you can add as you go, after you knock that list out the way, that one task list.
That one task to do yes. Life hack. Jackie has all the life hacks. We haven't seen any new life hacks on our TikTok.
Life together, so think that
like the life hacker.
What helps me make it through my day when I have a successful day. Like, you know how you're like, okay, that day didn't work out for me, and you sit down, you try and analyze it. Don't ever analyze it too much because once again, you're overdoing it. You need to sit down and focus on the positives and say, okay, so I got this done. How did I get this done? Oh, because you were super focused on just this one thing versus washing your dishes and looking around at everything else, because that is one thing that will make you shut down. You look around like, oh, I need a vacuum up in that corner. And then you look around, you're like, oh, I have to vacuum this whole apartment. I'm like,
and then you start thinking about all the things you have to do.
Listen to that Whitney Houston, dance with somebody, pack those dishes away, and then turn around and say, what's next after you clean your stove?
I totally agree. Thinking of other things while you're doing one task can definitely overwhelm you and then cause you to like shut down because you've now realized that there's actually way more things for you to do than this one thing that you decided to focus on. I had a thought and it slipped my mind. I'm an air sign. We're air signs, so it's gone now. So it'll come back eventually, and then I'll text it to you, and then we'll have to talk about it on the show. Like, this is what I was talking about, guys. Remember that moment I had? This is it. I remembered it. We're gonna take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back with our Fergal Vibe of the day, which is Joke Time with Jackie. If you enjoyed this conversation, give us a like wherever you're watching, and go ahead and drop a comment for us in the comment section. Jackie and I will be right back with some of her best dad jokes. Make sure you don't go anywhere. Jackie and I will be right back.
Same smooth sounds, different name. BCG Radio, home of Bermuda's most engaging morning talk shows, The Daily Hour and Good Day Bermuda. Download the app, available for Android and Apple devices. BCG Radio, your station for conversations and entertainment.
Welcome back to Good Day Bermuda, supported by Pizza House and Aliana's Restaurant. I'm Terri Tuku alongside Jackie Lambert. If you just joined us, it is time for our Fergal Vibe of the day, which on Wednesdays is Joke Time with Jackie. Jackie has the best, when I say the best, corny, dry jokes on the planet. And one thing we like to do is I try to respond with a corny-ish response, trying to see where we're going with it. I'm like shooting 50-50 when it comes to these. Like sometimes I get them. Sometimes mine are like completely off the cuff, but they're probably better from a medium perspective. And then sometimes I just don't get it. But one thing that is true throughout the whole thing is that we all get a good laugh out of it. So without further ado, Jack, over to you. I'm ready to have a good.
What always goes to bed with shoes on?
Sorry. Okay, what goes to bed? What always goes to bed with shoes on? I don't know.
A horse.
Horseshoe.
Oh my god. Okay. Why do bears have hairy coats?
What? I don't know. I don't know that one.
Fur protection.
Fur protection.
What do you call a boring dog? I'm giving you 2 more.
A boring dog? A snoozer. A snoozle. I don't know.
Schnauzer is a real thing. A Dalmatian.
Dull. Pretty much.
Okay, last one. Absolute last one. Why don't you play games in the jungle?
Why don't you play games in the jungle? I don't know.
The corniest one, I'm sorry. Too many cheetahs. Oh my god.
Wow.
I tried to hold it in.
Wow. These were good. I actually like these ones. I didn't get them. Kind of sucks that I didn't get them. I feel like the snoozer one should have been
the one. I feel like that needs to be the remake.
Yeah. I mean, Dalmatian is funny, like dope, but I was like, no, snooze, like no, you're boring, like snooze alert.
Yeah.
Exactly. Jackie and I hope that today's Feel Good Vibe of the Day has you ready to make it a great one. Thank you so much for watching and engaging with this episode of Good Day Bermuda, supported by P-Tails and Aliana's Restaurant. I'm Terri Suku alongside Jackie Lambert. We trust we'll see you tomorrow for more Feel Good conversations. Until the next episode, peace and have a good day, Bermuda.